they're saying, how can we let this be okay when other people have done arguably worse things like drink and drive? Hello and welcome to the Daily Think Share. My name's Zach. I'm here to bring to you what I've been thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to that I don't have time to teach in math class. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. So this morning I was reading an article. I was up early and I saw this. Someone sent me a Facebook message about these guys blacked out the NFL. So they said they lifted up a black shirt and then they showed a jersey and it was like a Texans jersey or something. It said, Houston or Texans, I'm blacking you out, and they put their black shirt over it. And so I was watching it, and so what they're saying is that they were going to not watch NFL, they were not going to buy NFL merchandise, they were not going to do fantasy football because Colin Kaepernick has not been accepted onto a team yet. So what they were saying was that Colin Kaepernick is currently not being brought onto a team, not because he's lacking talent. Hello. Hi. Not because he's lacking talent, but because he has an agenda and he will bring unnecessary stories or things to the team. And they're saying, how can we let this be okay when other people have done arguably worse things like drink and drive, like have domestic violence allegations and convictions. There have been people accused of sexual assault, and yet they're still playing. Now, honestly, I have not done my research, so I don't know specifically who some of these players are. I can recall, for example, Ben Roethlisberger in the past is one of the people that have had those charges against him, and I don't think I believe those were dropped, but Ezekiel Elliott and other players Ray Rice, they've all had charges against them, and yet they're still picked up by teams. They're still on teams. People are not refusing to pick them up. And so the video is saying we should really consider what are our values here. Are we going to stand by and say, it's okay for this guy to stand up for a cause he believes in and for lives of others? So it's for the Black Lives Matter movement, which I think the Black Lives Matter movement, I think they have a title that is challenging to understand, because what it's really saying, which people miss, is that it's assumed that white lives and other lives matter, and that's why they're not being shot at by police officers, and that Black Lives Matter too. And so they're trying to even the playing field, because it's already assuming that people say that white lives matter. It's more that they're thinking it. I've been listening to and reading this book called Waking Up White by, I forget her name, but it's pretty interesting looking at white privilege and what some people think about that are white, and how we perceive race. Which has been pretty interesting, and I've been looking at how I look at race. So that's kind of besides the point. But the fact is that Colin Kaepernick is standing up for something he believes in. He's standing up for equality versus other people, and so it's bringing on some media coverage, and yet people are doing illegal things that are causing problems, hurt, suffering in the world, like DUIs, like domestic violence, like sexual violence, and yet they're still on teams. So what I wanted to share with you is, all day since reading that article, anytime I think about the NFL or people talk about fantasy or the games that happened this weekend, I've just been cringing, and I've been thinking about the fact that this is the first time so for my birthday, I asked to go to a Patriots game because I wanted to watch Tom Brady play like in person. I've watched him since I was in 6th grade in 2001 when the Super Bowl. I got his jersey in 2001, and then I've been a pretty big fan all my life, and I want to see him play. And after watching that video, I've been thinking about do I want to contribute to the NFL that supports things that are gonna make them money versus people's lives? And I, in the video, and I'll put the link in the comments, but I think an important message here is that they said at the end, NFL speaks money, and so we got to talk to them in that language, which is not buying their stuff, not watching their stuff, letting TV ratings go down. And there have been people protesting it, and I really agree with them. I am not in a fantasy league. I haven't been, so I kind of missed the window anyway, but I think for now, at least currently I have tickets to go see the Patriots-Texans game, and I know my bucket list is important to me, and the other question is how do my morals compare with my bucket list? So this is going to be a continuous mental and moral struggle within my head. Students that are hearing this, feel free to come up and talk with me. I think it's a cause that I support, the Black Lives Matter movement, because I think they have a point. And sometimes when you grow up with white privilege like I have, I mostly white town, there's a lot of things you don't realize that go on, and there's a lot of things I've seen from working in other towns and places that I am almost a minority. So thank you for listening to me. I know this has been a bit long, but I just wanted to share this video and this idea, and what can we do about it? Should we do something about it? Should we ignore it? Who knows? I just wanted to bring it up. Thank you for watching. If you like this, give it a like. If you want more, subscribe, and thank you. Stay weird.